Hello, everyone. Let me just get everyone situated. Welcome to our, Wednesday evening yoga flow. I'm just going to make sure everyone's getting into the chat room. Hello. I was going to say good morning. This is not the case. All right. So as you get in here, hi, Sandra. As you get in here, just say hello to me. Of course, let me know that you can see and hear me. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Lori. Amazing. So today I have a 16-minute yoga flow that we're going to do today. And there are a couple things that I want to just say in advance to give you enough time to make sure you have them. If you have yoga blocks, it's such a great luxury to have, especially for those of us that feel like the floor is getting very far away. So what I love about a yoga block is it brings the floor to you. So you will see me using them quite a bit. It's a way for me to ground down into the floor and lift up without feeling like I'm stressing or straining my lower back or my neck or anything else. So there are 3 levels of a yoga block, of course. There's this level, there's this level, and there's this level. So you can modify it in whatever way. If you don't have a set of yoga blocks, I would recommend getting a pair of foam ones, because they are super easy to transport around. They're relatively inexpensive. You can order them any type of equipment store, of course, Amazon, those kinds of things, and they are a lovely luxury to have. They're also great to put on your mid-back area and your lower back to support and open up your body. So if you don't have those, you could always just invest in 2 cans of organic coconut milk. 2 books, anything equal size will work. Just make sure you're picking tins that are relatively light. So it works the same way. They're great. You can use them to ground down and grow out. So if you don't have some yoga blocks, just find 2 things that are roughly the same size and they'll work beautifully. Another great option to have that I use a lot in practice is simply a rolled up bath towel. So what I love about it is it also allows us to prop up our hips. It's a great support to go underneath your knees if your knees are sensitive. And what happens is when you sit on the edge of a rolled up mat, what will happen is it will bring your pelvis forward. So quite often when we're in stretches, especially on the ground, we feel like this. And sitting on that allows this to happen, and then we bend forward and we flex forward to the hips. So if you have that kind of support, then I would go ahead and get that. So you've got a few minutes. Feel free to just run back and get whatever it is that you need and want. Couple things that I wanted to say today. I'm really aware that for a lot of us, myself included, we have been moving in different ways than we are used to moving for a lot of us. So I want you to be exceptionally allowing and meeting yourself where you are at. So the cool thing about doing your online classes is we're online, we're in the comfort of my now 3rd rental home, and you can do it virtually anywhere. Great when you have a yoga mat, especially something that's really plush, sticky, really works for you. But what's difficult is, of course, I don't get to come around and offer any level of support. We don't have that real direct connection more than we have right now, and that's difficult. But it also means that we can be in our yoga practice whatever way we want. So it is a practice of allowing to make sure you're doing this the way you want to do it, the way that it speaks to you today. And this really gets away from that idea that we're showing up on our yoga mat for the person next to us or the person in front of us or any of those things. So this is about surrendering to your practice, to listening to your body. And I know we always say that, listen to your body, but this practice should be a series of, yes, I'm gonna do that, or no, that's not for me, and I'm gonna do this instead. So a couple notes about lower back pressure. I notice for myself that if my lower back is feeling some pressure, using my abdomen to draw my abdomen in helps considerably. And if I find myself feeling a lot of stress in my lower back, bending my knees and pushing my butt backwards helps a lot. My arms are leveraged and they're heavy because they're long. And so, going into a forward fold like this is a lot of pressure for me. And so you'll often see when I go into a forward fold, it is this, okay? And the difference is I'm bending my knees, I'm pushing my butt back, bringing my hands in close to my body, and then down, okay? So that's one thing that you can pay attention. The other thing is when you're going from transition, especially on the ground, where you are in some sort of flexion, and then you're going to extension, that can be tricky for your lower back. So you want to make sure you allow that transition to happen in the speed at which it needs to happen. So if you have to take a second when you come out of extension before you go into flexion, just to make sure everything settles, then you do that. I notice that when we're in bridge on our back and we push our pelvis up, that's extension for the lower back. And then often we release it back down to the ground, and then we're quick to bring our knees up to our chest, which puts our back into extreme flexion. For a lot of us, taking the second in between really helps a lot. So just be aware of where your arms are. They're heavy and they create pressure on your lower back. So just check in, and if you need to bring your hands in or bring your hands in here, it helps a lot. Watch where your neck is, okay? You don't always have to look up towards the ceiling. Maybe when this goes up here, your head goes down here, okay? And you're leading with your crown so that your chin's not doing a lot of that. I think that was it. The last thing is be kind to your knees. If you need to take a second to put something under your knees as you move, please do. I might do some parts of the flow that you're like, I'm not there, or I don't feel like doing it today. This is the series of yeses and nos. So you need to modify that. If I'm going back into plank, if we're going back into plank and I'm here, you can be here. If I'm going down into chaturanga, you don't need to be there. You can be here, and then you can lower yourself down. If in turn you don't like any of that, then you go ahead and do what you feel like doing. And then when we get into the flow, maybe we're in warrior two, you just simply take a step back from your standing position. So if up and down off the ground doesn't feel good to you, then you get to modify that, okay? That's something I've been wanting to say for a while. All right, so what time are we? So we're 4:27. I'm just gonna give everybody a couple more minutes to come in. Go ahead and just find a comfortable place for you to sit. We're gonna start in a sitting position today, cross-legged seating position, or possibly sitting on a block if that's more comfortable for you. I'm gonna do something important, which is to, you're welcome, Lori, to put up my hair. I'll let you watch that. So I am coming to you from sunny Kelowna. And I'm in the middle of moving. I've been looking forward to this too, Karen. And I'm in the middle of moving. I'm moving into, gosh, I hope it is for my forever home at the end of August. And one of the things I'm most excited about is I actually have a yoga space that's gonna work. So this has been a little bit difficult. I'm gonna turn the Wi-Fi off, so hopefully I don't lose you. You're so welcome. Hi, Dawn. How'd you slip in there? I didn't even see you. Okay, so a couple more minutes. I'm not gonna play music during the class so that I'm not competing with the sound of my voice, but feel free to put music on in your background. 60 minutes, it's all yours. I even put my dog away so he wouldn't be coming over and bugging us. I don't think I need my cans of coconut milk. So the way that I look at an evening practice is differently than how I look at a morning practice. So the morning practice is filled with a really, really, really long, juicy, slow warm up. The other thing, I'm sorry, I have a bit of a darkness on me while I'm laying here because I don't have my light here. So for the next couple of weeks, you'll just have to follow my shadows, and we'll go ahead and we'll have something a little bit easier to work with in the future. So just sit down in whatever position makes you most comfortable at this moment. Doing your best to stack your neck over your shoulders, over your hips. I like to use my hands on the front of my knees just as a bit of a leverage point to create a little bit more length without so much pressure. Just let some breaths go in and out through your nose in whatever way is most comfortable. I love it. We're here. We have 60 minutes, and if all you do is stop listening to me and roll back onto your back and bring your knees up to your chest and close your eyes, this will have been well worth it. Three more full cycles of breath. In and out through your nose. No need to try and make them sound or feel any sort of way. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Bring your arms out to the side and reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Let your eyes follow your hands, palms together, hands all the way down through heart center. Bring your thumbs to your sternum, bow your head for a moment. Press your hands together. Bring your elbows up to the level of your hands. Feel the engagement through your shoulder blades. Give yourself thanks for showing up today when you could have done a million other things. Releasing your hands, walking your right hand out to the right, doing some side stretches. Take your left arm out to the side. Inhale to reach up. Exhale all the way over to the right hand side. Let your right arm bend. Bringing your arm back, open up your shoulder. Inhale, exhale, bring it back over. Back and forth, plugging your left hip into the ground, opening your shoulder, then reaching up, exhaling. Option to look underneath your left elbow. Inhale, bring it back, waving back and forth at your own pace. Exhale, all the way over. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, all the way over. Feel the stretch all the way from your left sitting bone all the way to your left fingertips. And bringing your left arm all the way back down to the ground. Inhale your right arm up. Create some length. Exhale, all the way over to the left-hand side. Feel the stretch. Breathing into your right rib cage. Inhale, open your shoulder up. Exhale, reach over. Let it be juicy. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, all the way back over. One more time. Inhaling, all the way back up. Exhale, all the way back over. All the way back. Bring your hands back behind you. Walking your hands forward. Just starting to go onto your fingertips. Reaching your fingertips as far forward as you can. Pushing back and plugging into your sitting bones. Releasing your head between your biceps, ears to your biceps, reaching forward with your fingers, pressing back through your sitting bones, lengthening all the way through your back. Inhaling to the back body, exhaling through your nose. Inhale, one more deep breath in. Exhale, all the way back. Walking your hands all the way back. Placing your hands back on both knees. Allowing your chin to release down towards your chest. Inhale to center, back up. Exhale, chin to sky. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Letting this movement back and forth be as big or as small, as fast or as slow as you need it. 3 more rounds back and forth. Sit up nice and tall, broaden through your shoulder blades, collarbones. Inhale up, exhale forward, one more time, and bring it back to neutral. Release your right ear over to your right shoulder, option to bring your right hand up, placing it on top of your head, walking your left hand out to the side, just creating a little length and stretch down the left side. Breathing deeply, sitting up nice and tall. Releasing your hand down, inhaling your head back to center, and slowly releasing your head to the left-hand side. Left hand up, Gentle pressure down, walk your right hand away. Breathe into the space between your right ear and your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Walking your hands back behind you. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Walking your hands back, putting your feet hip distance apart. Getting ready to press our hips up, bending our elbows. Take a deep breath in, exhale, press into your feet, press into your hands, bring your hips up. Let your shoulders go forward, no need to bring them back. Looking forward. Pressing into your feet, lifting up a little bit higher. Breathing deep into your belly. One more deep breath in. Exhale, all the way back down. Release it all the way to the ground. Take your feet a little bit wider and windshield wipe from side to side, letting your hip rise and fall as you go from side to side. 2 more. Bringing the back to neutral, walk your feet back into hip distance. 1 more time, looking forward. Inhale, press down into your feet, into your hands. Lift your hips even higher. Press down, lift up. Looking just above your belly button towards the sky. Breathing deep into your belly. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale, and let your hips float all the way back down. This time, coming back into a cross-legged seated position in the opposite way, the non-habitual way. Let me see, is that the non-habitual way? Yep, it is. You only know once you get there. And usually you'll feel that one side just feels a little bit more awkward. Sitting up nice and tall, and then walking your fingertips forward on this side. So plugging your sitting bones in, walking your fingertips forward, going as far forward as you can, pressing back to your hips, releasing your head between your biceps. Breathing deep into your back body. Exhaling fully through your nose. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale, come all the way back. Sitting up nice and tall, release your left hand over to your right knee, walking your right hand behind you. Sitting up nice and tall, growing right out of your lower back to your crown, taking deep breath in, inhaling, exhaling, twisting to your right. Option to look over your right hand shoulder. Pause. Inhale again, grow a little taller. Exhale, look a little further to your right. Breathing deep into your belly. Letting your head come back to neutral. Release your arms. Walk your right hand over to your left knee. Walk your left hand behind you. Inhale to create length. Stacking your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, exhale, twist to your left. Breathing deep into your abdomen, feeling your belly rise. Inhale for length. Exhale, rotate even more. Releasing your head back to neutral, bringing your hands both out back to the front. Bringing your arms out to the side. Inhale, look all the way up to the ceiling. Hands together. Exhale all the way through heart center. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest. Flip your palms away, pressing your palms forward, letting your hips fall backwards, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Press forward through your fingers, opening up all the way through the shoulder blades. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up, sitting up nice and tall, all the way above your head, option to look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, all the way down. Interlace your fingers 1 more time. Press them away, push your fingers forward. Hips back, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Open up all the way through the shoulder blades. Inhale, sweep it all the way up. Get all the way to the top, release your hands, release them all the way down, and rolling onto your hands and your knees. Coming onto hands and knees, making sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are directly underneath your hips, tops of your feet onto the mat, going into cat and cow. Inhaling, dropping your belly, broadening through the collarbone, looking forward. Exhale, press into your hands, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, drop your belly. Look forward, broaden. Exhale, press down, arch up. Go back and forth at your own pace. Maybe moving your arms, letting it be a little bit more dynamic. Moving back as you go, inhaling, looking forward. This is the part where you get to say yes and you get to say no. Maybe you pause in a certain spot. Maybe you go faster than I do, all the way down. Coming back to neutral, I want you to go ahead and take your left leg and I want you to press back through your heel. So pressing back through your heel, engage your foot, bring it all the way up to hip height. With your right leg, I want you to spin your foot to the side. So instead of it being right behind you, bring it out on a 45-degree angle, plant your foot down in one long line with your hips, okay? Arm, knee, foot, all right? Inhale, your left arm up and over top of your head. Exhale, come up, all the way over to the other side. Right hand goes down, left arm goes up, reaching out all the way from your foot to your fingertips. Inhale to rise, exhale over top of your straight leg. One more time. Right hand down, inhale to rise. Exhale all the way over, all the way back up, all the way. Make it large, make it move the way you want. Right hand down, left hand down. Bring your legs back in, pressing back out to the left leg again. This time, left leg goes back, right hand goes forward. Thumb up, palm in. Looking straight down at the floor, making sure your head and neck are in line, pressing back, and at the same time, I want you to bend your right elbow and your left knee, press it all the way back and touch your foot. Inhale to create length. Exhale, bend your leg and press. Keep going. For 4. Breathing deep. 3. And 2. This is stability. And 1. Reaching out. Grow a little longer. Exhale, hands down. Setting back up. This time I want you to press back through your right leg. So press back through your right leg. And then this is where you're going to take your left leg on a 45-degree angle. Plant your right foot down. Left arm directly under. I want you to inhale, right hand goes all the way up over your body. Inhale to rise, exhale, stretch the other way. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Reach, press down with your foot, reach up with your hand. Keep going, your own pace. Big breaths, in and out through your nose. Last one. Coming back to hands and knees, making sure that you're set up properly, and then press back again through that right leg, reaching forward with your left hand. So pressing down into your left knee, pressing firmly into your right hand, bend your left arm, bend your right knee, and press back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, press back. Keep going. For 4. For 3, for 2, isn't this good? I can't even see you, so I don't even know if you're doing it. Last one, reaching out, reach forward with your left hand, back with your right leg. Left hand down, taking your knees nice and wide, feet together, coming back into child's pose. So letting your hips sink all the way back to your feet. Reaching forward with your hands, releasing your forehead to the mat. Breathing deep into your back body. Maybe letting your hips go from side to side. This is child's pose, as you know, my favorite posture. You never have to wait for me to cue it. It's available to you at all times. It's a nice rest pose. It's a way to regain your breath and just reset yourself if you find that that's what you want to do in practice. If your knees are apart and your feet are together, you'll feel the stretch in your lower back. If you bring your knees together and your feet together, you'll feel it through the mid-back. Okay, taking a moment. This time I want you to walk your hands forward. So opening up your hands, all 5 fingers down, wrist creases parallel with the front of the mat, tuck your toes, hip distance apart. Inhale, exhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So taking a moment to pedal out your downward dog, bending your knees, lifting your hips nice and high towards the ceiling. Breathing deep, taking a peek forward to your hands, taking them nice and wide, almost as wide as your yoga mat in some cases. All 5 fingers are in contact with the mat. Head resting between your biceps. Feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees, lift your hips. One long line from your fingertips all the way to your sitting bones. This time, I want you to wave forward, all the way forward into high plank. So now your shoulders are directly over top of your hands, pressing back through your heels, engaging the front of your legs, lifting your kneecaps, belly button to spine, crown of the head towards the front of your mat. Keep breathing. Feel a doming action between your shoulder blades, pressing into your hands, lifting up. For 4, you can go onto your knees at any time. For 3, it's supposed to feel like this. 2, and 1. Tip your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Waving forward again, going all the way forward, coming onto your tippy toes, pressing forward, feeling the strength of your arms. Exhale, come all the way back. Bend your knees, lifting your hips to the ceiling. Waving forward. Keep going back and forth. As soon as you get there, lift your hips, wave all the way back. Bend your knees, let it be juicy. Come all the way forward for 3 more. And lift. And 2. You might be saying no right now, that's okay. And 1 more. Holding this one, release your knees to the mat, untuck your toes, bend your elbows back, grazing the side of your body all the way back, coming all the way onto your belly. Feet hip distance apart, bringing your hands up by your face, looking down towards the mat, inhaling, exhaling, press into your hands and lift your body up into baby cobra. So using the strength of your upper back and lower back to lift your body. Pressing into the tops of your feet, pressing so much that you're actually lifting your kneecaps off the ground. 2 more breaths. This is the strength you want to keep really great posture as you go. Making sure your head's not craning forward, bringing it in. Exhale all the way down. Bring your hands back beside your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through tabletop, lift your knees, come back into downward facing dog. Looking forward, I want you to walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat, hip distance apart, and release your head all the way down into forward fold. If you don't have your coconut milk cans or your blocks up near the front, just bring them up on either side. Really nice. I like to bring them up, but if you don't, it's okay. Releasing your head towards the mat, rocking back and forth on your feet, going into your toes, back into your heels, bending your knees, taking all the pressure out of your lower back. Take the pressure out of the back of your neck, making sure you're bringing your chin towards your chest. We're going to inhale, bringing our hands to the front of our shins into halfway lift, pressing our hands into our shins, reaching back from our sitting bones, 1 long line to the tip of our heads, and then exhale all the way back down. See if you can lift your hips a little bit higher up towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift, come back up. Hands to your shins or to the blocks, or fingertips on the floor. Exhale all the way back down. This is where if you feel pressure, 1 more time, inhale to lift. You feel pressure here because you're like this. Bend your knees and stick your butt out. Okay, don't be down here if it hurts. Bring your hands all the way back up. Exhale all the way down. Walking your hands all the way up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way up to Tadasana. Once your head rises, inhale your arms up over top. Look up if it feels good on your neck. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse, come all the way up. Root to rise, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, keep going. Exhale, forward fold. Enjoy the motion. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, all the way up. Look up, exhale, come all the way back down and stay in your forward fold. Staying in your forward fold, take your feet just a little bit further apart, releasing your head, bend your knees so that your lower back doesn't feel stressed or pressure. Option to bring hands to opposite elbows. Dangle your head between your arms, letting it be heavy. Releasing your hands down, inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, hands down on the other side. Take a big step back with your right leg. Coming into a lunge, release your right knee onto the mat. Untuck your toes. My hair keeps hooking on my own ear. Making sure both your hips are nice and forward. Option to bring your blocks in on either side if that's what feels better. Otherwise, walk your hands up to either side of your left knee. Sinking your hips down. If you feel pressure when you do this, lift up out of your hips. So drawing the energy up all the way through the base of your pelvis so that you're not feeling like you're slumping into your lower back. If this doesn't create compression though, you're welcome to roll your hips forward so that your knee is coming towards your right toes. Squaring your body to the front of your mat. Option to bring your arms up. Rise up out of your arms, relax your shoulders down, fingers spread apart. Looking forward, breathing deep in and out through your nose. Exhale, bring your right hand down onto the inside of your left foot. Inhale your left arm up. So twisting to the left-hand side, stay here, or option to tuck your right toes and lift your right knee. Looking up, or option, can keep your head looking down. So stacking one shoulder over the other, reaching up with your left fingertips, pressing down into your left leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your left hand down, releasing your knee to the mat if you haven't already. Now walking your left foot out to the side of your mat. Placing your left hand inside. I'm going to move like this, make it easier. So walking your foot to the left side and placing your hands inside, possibly even stepping your right knee back a little, squaring your body to the front, sinking your hips forward. Option to stay here, or if you'd like, and it feels comfortable, going down onto both your elbows, keeping your left shoulder in contact with your left knee. And if all this does is create a whole lot of pressure, nothing good, don't be here. Be right back here. Should be a bit of a journey between joy and effort. Okay, stay a little bit longer. Maybe let your hips go from side to side, opening up just a little bit. Walking your left hand out, walking your left foot in, coming up onto your right foot, springing forward to the front of the mat, inhaling to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms all the way up, look up. Exhale to fold, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, taking a big step back with your left foot this time. Same thing on this side. Letting your left knee release down to the mat and taking your hands to blocks or bringing your hands on top of your right knee. Squaring your body to the front of your mat. Finding some muscle tone in this. So bringing your belly button towards your spine, lifting up ever so slightly. so that you're not dumping, but you have some integrity. So you can feel the difference. It's a slight difference. Option to bring your hands up. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. So rooting down into your knee, front of your leg and your foot, and rising up to your fingertips. Breathing deep. Exhale, releasing your hands all the way down. Walking your right foot out to the right-hand side of your mat, bringing your right arm inside. So this is the option of where you can go down onto your forearms, keeping your inner right knee in contact with your right shoulder or staying on your palms. Looking forward, being aware of where your head and neck is in space. Letting your body just drift back and forth from side to side. Giving your hips a break. Two more deep breaths. Walking your right foot in, pressing your hands down, tucking your back toes. This time, lifting your left knee, springing forward to the front of the mat again. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, rooting to rise. Press into your feet, lift up, look up. Exhale to hands to heart center. So option as we go forward here, if you find that it's difficult to do the flows, we're going to go into a Warrior 1 and a Warrior 2 series. So if you find it difficult to do chaturangas and going back and forth on your hands and knees, then this is your option to just step back and meet us in the poses. Okay, do what you would like to do until you get there. Otherwise, if you're with me, you're going to go ahead and forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Take a step back with both your feet to a high plank. Staying in your high plank and lowering, or release your knees to the mat. Come down in one long line. Talk to your feet to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come all the way back down. Press back through hands and knees, lifting to downward facing dog. 2 deep breaths in downward facing dog. Bending your knees any amount. On your next inhale, rise your right leg back, pressing back through the heel. Exhale, take your right foot through to your right hand. Release your right foot down on a 45-degree angle. So you're either going heel to heel alignment, or if you find that that is too difficult, then go ahead and just take your feet a bit further apart. Inhale to rise, hands on your hips, coming into Warrior 1. Reaching into your knee. So this is a closed hip posture. So on some level, your hips are squaring to the front of your mat, okay? Your right knee is bending forward in line with your second and third toe, but your back foot is on a 45-degree angle. And for everybody, that's different. So if you find that to be a tremendous amount of pressure on your left knee, then you're gonna go into a high lunge, which means you're just gonna pop your back heel up. Otherwise, you'll stay in a more traditional stance, or you'll walk your foot out to the side so you're on train tracks. Wherever you are, do your best to bring your left hip forward and your right heel back, your right hip back. Inhale your arms up if it's a down dog. Warrior 1. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Tone your abdomen. Rise up to the crown. Bending deeply into your right knee. Exhale your hands back down to the side. Straighten your right leg. Coming into pyramid pose. So straightening and centering your hips to go forward. Taking half a step forward so that your stance is a little bit less. Going forward, inhaling for length. Exhaling, tipping forward at the hips. Soft micro bend in the right knee. And bring your hands all the way down to blocks or the ground. So keeping nice and straight through your back, or otherwise having your fingers down. Inhaling for length, exhaling, letting your body fall forward over your right leg. Not an easy pose. This is one of those poses where we just have to try and create some level of patience and tolerance and appreciation for all the work that our legs do. Gentle micro movements, bringing your right hip back, your left hip forward. Bring your chin to your chest so you're reaching forward with your crown. One more deep breath in. One more exhale. Inhale to come all the way up. Let your hands go back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Press your fingers back. Rise up. Option to look up with a slight back bend. Inhale to rise. Releasing your hands all the way down on the mat. Move your blocks. Come back down. Press down into your hands. Step back into your plank. Coming through your vinyasa, release your knees to the mat all the way down in one long line. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, press back through hands and knees. Rising up to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. 2 more breaths. Going to the other side. Inhaling your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your left foot through to your left hand. Coming into warrior one on this side. So mirroring what you did on the other side. So either going to be in high lunge or you're going to have your right heel back on 45. Inhale to rise your body up. Hands to your hips. Pressing forward into your left knee. Doing your best to square your hips to the front of the mat. Inhaling. Broadening through the collarbones. Back leg is straight. Left knee is bent. Inhale, option to bring your arms up. Press down, reach up. Warrior 2 is a power pose, warrior 1. So you want to feel the strength of your legs. You want to feel the tension that builds out of the bottom of your feet, rising all the way up to your fingertips. One more deep breath in. Exhale to release, bring your hands all the way down. Putting your hands on your hips, going into pyramid pose, straighten your left leg. Walk your right leg in just a bit. Right toes are pointing fairly forward. Inhale for length. Exhale, hinging at the hips, coming forward, soft micro bend in your left knee. No hyperextending. When you can't go any further, bring your hands down to blocks or to the ground. Growing length out of your lower back all the way to your crown. Exhale, fold forward over your left leg. Bring your chin towards your chest. This is one of those poses I love to avoid because I find it hard. But if 2020's taught me anything, we can do hard things. It's good practice. It reminds us how capable we are. So making sure you're not hyperextending through the left leg, doing our best to walk our left hip back, edge our right hip forward. Inhaling to create a little bit length and rise all the way back up. Finding your feet, interlacing your hands the non-habitual way this time. Palms together, index fingers down. Inhaling to create length. Exhaling, small back bend. Lift your chest towards the sky. It's okay if you're a bit wobbly. Releasing your hands, bring them all the way back down to the ground. Stepping back, step back to plank, hold your plank. And this one, just like before, you have the option of releasing your knees and going down in one long line. Or you can come down in chaturanga. Flip your feet. Come into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. One more deep breath in, deep exhale. Walking your feet out to the sides of your mat. Just bring your feet a little bit far forward, all the way out. Get solid into your left hand. I want you to inhale your right hand, bring it all the way across to the outside of your knee, outside of your left calf, or all the way down to your ankle. Pressing into your left hand on the ground, pressing your hips back, using your right hand as leverage on the outside of your left leg. Press it in, reach back, lift your hips. Deep stretch. Deep breath in. Long exhale. No pressure into your head or neck. Releasing your right hand, bringing it back to the center. Squaring yourself again, firmly into your right hand. Lift your left arm all the way across to the outside of your right calf or foot. Press back into your heels, press back into your right hand. Using your hand on the outside of your right leg, leverage your hips back. Feel the stretch. Let your gaze rest between your feet. One more deep breath in. Exhale to release. Bring your hands back. Walk your feet back in. Looking forward, step or hop all the way to the front of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale, root to rise, arms all the way up. Look up, bring your hands together, all the way back through heart center. Keeping your hands together in your Tadasana. Closing your eyes. Feeling the strength of your palms pressing together. Elbows the height of your hands. All 4 points of your feet firm into the ground. Tailbone reaching towards the earth, crown towards the ceiling. Releasing your hands, going to a few balance postures. We're going to start with tree pose. So taking your hands to the hips, stepping firmly into your left leg, bend your right knee and bring your ankle or your heel in against your left ankle. Option to stay here or lift that right foot to your calf or above all the way to the inside of your left thigh. Square your hips to the front of your mat. Press down into your left foot, rise up through your crown, and find a drishti or a gaze 4 feet, 5 feet in front of you. Lift up, keeping your hips squaring to the front of that. See how much you can open that right knee. It's okay if you're moving around. Option to bring your hands to heart center. See if you can find grounding and lightness at the same time. As hard as you are pressing your right foot into your thigh, you're pressing your left thigh into your foot. Option to grow your branches, bring them all the way up. Reaching up to your fingertips. Option to lift your gaze towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Trees move, it's okay if you do. Feel the strength inside that left foot and that left calf. See how much they're working. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. When you release your right foot, I want you to bring your knee forward. And then I want you to press back, going into warrior 3. Press all the way back, hinging forward at the hips, keeping your hips parallel to the ground. Option to keep your hands at heart center or fly them back behind you, palms down, reaching down. Flex your right foot, whoop, fall over, come back in. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, bring your right leg back up into your chest. Hold on to it. Exhale, bring it back down. So give it a little shake. Going into the other side. So this time, just letting that go. And this is the yeses or the nos. And if you feel like you're exceptionally wobbly, just bring your hand up to the side of the wall. There's nothing saying that you can't get a little bit of support and help. So making sure you're finding a drishti, it really helps. Number 2, taking a moment to finding all 4 points of your foot. Grounding down into your right foot, bend your left knee, placing your left foot on the inside of the calf, or bringing it all the way up to the thigh. Finding your balance point. firming up your legs and feeling the leveraging between your foot and your thigh and your thigh and your foot. Hands to your hips, relax your shoulders. Option to bring your hands to heart center. And if you'd like, grow your branches all the way up, lifting your gaze up to the ceiling. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn my body so you can see me a little bit better. Exhale your hands back to heart center. And releasing your hands to your hips, bring your left knee forward. And then bring it back, pressing back, coming into warrior three, tipping your hips forward, flexing your back left leg. I'm wobbly today. Squaring your hips to the ground. So option to bring your hands to your heart center or bringing your hands back behind you. Pressing back to your left heel, inching forward through the crown of your head for 3, for 2, for 1, bringing your left knee back up, bringing it all the way back into the chest, taking a moment to give it a squeeze and release it back down. Awesome. Finding your feet, letting it go. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, let's go all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, all the way down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Don't worry, I'm not putting you through a flow. Inhaling your right leg up behind you. Exhale, coming into pigeon, take your right knee over to your right wrist. Releasing your back leg down onto the mat. Now, if you know that being in pigeon is uncomfortable for you and too hard on your knee, then you have the option of going on your back and going into a figure 4 position. Okay, so you don't need to be in this position. So if you're going into pigeon, your right knee, there's a few different ways to do pigeon. Your left knee is in alignment with your hip on the left. Your right knee can be in straight line with the hip, or you can do it where your right knee is out to the side. So today we're going to do it where your right knee is outside the line of your hip. You're going to walk your hands back. Inhale to create some length. So draw yourself up. So this is like when we are in warrior 1. We don't want to feel the compression into your lower back. You want to use some muscle tone to pull yourself up out of your hips. So inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walking your hands forward, releasing your body down onto the mat, onto your elbows, or all the way down. And if you feel like your right hip is hanging out in space too much, take your pillow or your blanket or your block, probably not your can of soup, and just prop up your right hip. Or if you're wondering what that feels like, just try it. It actually feels really good. Releasing yourself all the way down. We're going to spend 5 breaths here. And if you're that person who's feeling the pressure all the way down into your knees, you're going to be on your back, placing the right ankle on top of the left leg, reaching through, taking hold of the back of the left thigh, and bringing your left thigh towards your chest, using your right elbow to open up the right knee any amount. Wherever you are, enjoy where you are. See if you can tilt your hips and just move them ever so gently. Giving them some love. Breathing into your lower back. 2 more breaths. Walking your hands up, placing your hands on either side of your right knee, just walking your knee in. Tuck your left toes, press into your hands, lift your hips, and press back to downward facing dog. And if you're on your back doing figure 4, go ahead and just unwind the pose and let your knees sway from side to side, setting up for the other side in just a moment. Optional flow. Otherwise, I want you to, on your next inhale, inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left wrist. Releasing your back leg back. Untuck your right toes. Walking your hands up again, coming up into proud pigeon. So not dumping down, but lifting up. A lot of times when we have pain in our back and even in our knees, it's because it's not just that we have dysfunction or joint issues and so on. It's because we don't lack the core strength in some of the small muscles that surround joints. So we want to make sure that we work on integrity as much as we do flexibility. So inhale, growing up through the crown. And when you're ready, exhaling, folding forward any amount, coming onto your elbows, maybe using a block in the back of your left sitting bone. Bringing your chin towards your chest so that you are growing from your crown and you're not feeling like you're dumping into the back of your neck. Bringing your chin in, growing from your crown, preserves the integrity of your neck. Close your eyes. One more deep breath in. If you have a prop underneath you, go ahead and take that away. Tuck your right toes in, bring your hands on either side, press into your hands, lift your hips, and come back to downward facing dog. Sway your hips from side to side, walk your dog. And when you're ready, walking your hands back to meet your feet, coming into a forward fold. But this time, take your feet nice and wide. Bend your knees any amount. And walking your hands underneath your feet. So putting the palm of your hand underneath the sole of your feet, taking your toes all the way up to your wrist. Bend your knees, releasing the tension through your shoulders, long back of your neck. Breathing deeply into your back body, straightening your legs any amount. Massaging your feet into your wrists. 2 more breaths. Releasing your hands. Now walking your feet out fairly wide, we're going to come into a wide-legged squat. So I'm going to move over here. So taking your toes out and your heels in, rise to look forward, and as you exhale, I want you to bend your knees and come all the way down into Malasana. Now, everybody's different with Malasana. Malasana is a wide-legged squat. So if you have the flexibility in your ankles, then you're able to keep your feet down. But if not, you can stay up on your toes. It's totally, totally fine. Or here we are, back where we can use one of these blocks right under sitting bones, okay? So wherever you are, I want you to ground down deeply into your feet. Place your hands on either side. Press your elbows into your knees into your elbows, and draw up strong through your crown. Planting your right hand down firmly into the ground, pressing your right knee, your right elbow into your right knee. Inhale your left arm up. Reaching up with your left fingertips. Option to keep your head down. You don't always have to be looking up. Exhale, bring your left arm down. Placing it firmly in, press it down, make connection with your left knee. Inhale your right arm up. Reach up, ground down. Use your elbow against your left knee to open your body up. Breathe deeply into your right rib cage. Find some extra space. Then exhale your hands down. If you have a block behind you, I want you to walk your block out, and then put your hands behind you, and I want you to come all the way back into a sitting position. Bringing the soles of your feet together into Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. Now, if you're the person that feels already that you're crunching back here, you might want to move your feet out a little bit more. Or you can use this, your blanket, if you have it, to prop up underneath your sitting bones. So you'll just sit on the side of it so your hips are rolling forward. So it's not for you to sit fully on, it's for you to perch on the side. Wherever you are, I want you to place your hands on your feet so that nice and tall. Inhale, feel the strength of your body grounding into your sitting bones, rising up through your crown. And then exhale, leading with your chest, hinging at the hips, holding onto your feet, coming forward. So not curving and rounding through the back, but lifting out of your hips, coming on a 45-degree angle, lifting up, reaching forward, bending your elbows as your body comes forward. It's a very active portion of the pose. And at the same time that you're creating length, can you create some length between your collarbones? One more deep breath in. Exhale. And now you can allow the pose to be passive. Go ahead and curve all the way through your lower back. Bring your head down towards your feet, any amount. So let it be passive. And if this isn't feeling good for you, I want you to modify this into the stretch that you would like to do that feels good for you. And if you just don't like it, but you know that it's oh so good for you, then you can talk yourself into being here. Inhale to rise, bringing your knees up, just giving it a second, putting your hands behind you, taking your feet to hip distance, and letting them rock from side to side. Coming into Janu Sirsasana, we're going to put our right leg forward, sitting up into our sitting bone. Bend your left knee, bring the sole on the inside of your right thigh. So your right leg is coming directly out. This, you might also be propped up from behind you. And if you need to, you can bend your right knee so that you can move forward. Okay, so you don't have to be in a straight leg position. You're going to inhale for length with your hands here or your hands here. And you're going to exhale, coming forward with your chest, not your chin. And come all the way forward as best you can. Enliven your right foot, bring your toes towards your knee. Inhale for some length, exhale, grow longer. Let it be a bit dynamic, rising as you inhale, lowering as you exhale. Last 3 breaths, allow it be passive, releasing your body, rounding through the back, chin to your chest, head towards your knee, any amount. Keep your right foot flexed. 2 more breaths. Breathing into your back body. Inhale, walking your body back up. Taking this left foot, bringing it all the way across your body, stepping it on the outside of your right leg, wrapping your right arm around it, walking your left hand back behind you. Inhale for length, flexing your right foot. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist even further. Option to bring your neck along for the ride or keep it looking neutral. 1 more breath. If you had your head rotated, bring it back to neutral, unwind everything. And this time, bringing your left leg out into Janu Sirsasana, bending your right knee, bringing your sole of your foot inside, sitting up nice and tall, finding your sitting bones, flexing your foot, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale for length. Exhale, moving your body forward any amount. So like this is the active portion of the fold. And if you're like me, you don't have a tremendous amount of flexibility in the back of your leg and maybe even in your lower back. So you have to find that space where you're getting the goodness of the stretch without hurting yourself. So for a lot of people, that might mean that you actually bend your knee up a little bit. Inhale for length, exhale, come forward. It's okay if you have a little motion with it. Every time you inhale, you lift a little more. Every time you exhale, you grow a little longer. Breathing into your back body, drawing your chin in towards your chest, growing out of your crown. Now going into passive, inhaling for length, exhaling, softening all the way through the back body. Rounding through the back, bring your forehead towards your leg. It's a good time to breathe air into your lower back. Finding those little areas of tightness. Inhaling as you rise, releasing your right leg. Same thing, bringing it across on the outside of your left leg, sitting up nice and tall, reaching forward, flexing your left foot, wrap your left arm around, walk your right hand behind. Inhale for length, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, more length, exhale, look even further to the right hand side. Releasing your gaze back to the center, unwinding everything, bringing your feet back out, hip distance apart, going back into the windshield wipe from side to side. And bringing it to neutral, planting your feet down, bringing your hands out to the side or holding the back of your legs. We're just gonna roll down one vertebrae at a time, keeping our chest nice and lifted, as slow as we can, feeling the engagement of our abdomen. You're almost done. As soon as you get all the way back, taking a moment to just settle your lower back, maybe take your ponytail out, and when you're ready, draw one knee into your chest, then the other, rocking from side to side. Holding onto your right knee, I want you to extend your left leg all the way out, all the way down to the mat. Holding your right knee in, bringing your right knee across your body, all the way to the left-hand side. Bring your right arm all the way out, palm up or palm down. Feeling the stretch all the way from the right knee, all the way up to the right shoulder. Option to bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Feeling the twist. Inhale, bringing your right knee back up to center. Letting your left knee come up to join it. This time going into happy baby. Taking your hands through the inside of your knees, holding on to the outside of your feet. Bringing your feet towards the ceiling. Nice and wide, knees nice and wide. And if you can't hold onto your feet, that's fine. Hold on to the outside of your calves, the outside of your knees, the outside of your ankles. And if you can, take your knees wide, reach all the way up, hold on to the outside. Bring your knees into your armpits, press your hands into your feet into your hands, lengthen your tailbone towards the front of the mat. Option to give it a little rock from side to side. And this is the part where you have to know what your spine and lower back feel like. So this might not feel great to you, and this is absolutely not a no pain, no gain situation. It's kind of up to you to decide what feels best. Go ahead and still your happy baby, release it down, holding onto your left knee, extend your right leg all the way out towards the ground. And when you're ready, wrapping your left knee all the way across your body to the right, Opening your left shoulder to the ground, palm up or palm down, and spinning your gaze any amount to the left-hand side. Breathing deeply into your side body. Releasing the twist, bringing your knees back up. One last time, bringing your knees in, squeezing your knees in. Option to bring your forehead to your knees. And taking the next 10 or 20 or 30 seconds to do whatever motion or movement you need to do. And when you're ready, opening yourself back up for Shavasana. Taking up lots of room, feet to either side of your mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under your back, lengthen through the crown of your neck, open your shoulders, palms to the ceiling. Closing your eyes. As you stay in Shavasana, as always, I'm going to share a poem that seems particularly poignant right now. I don't know who the author is. It's called Let It Go. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold. The holding of plans or dreams or expectations, let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go, and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. Starting to move fingers and toes, rolling your wrists, moving your ankles, drawing the inseam of your legs together, pressing out through your toes, inhaling your arms up over top of your head, reaching through your fingers, pressing through your toes, bringing your ribs towards the ceiling, and exhale. Bending your knees, rolling onto the right-hand side, using your right arm as a rest for your head. Draw your knees in close. And when you're ready, pressing into your left hand to bring your body up, to come sit in a cross-legged seated or comfortable position. Keeping your eyes closed. Resting your palms in your lap or on your knees. These days I envision so many of us carrying so much heaviness. And I invite you, as you're laying here and you're sitting here, to put down the things that you don't want to carry. Imagine wrapping it up in a nice little package and putting it down. And then wrapping up that which you don't want to carry anymore and put that down. And so on, and so on. Releasing your hands to the side of your body. Inhale your arms up, all the way up. Taking the time to take the energy in as your arms rise. Opening your chest to the ceiling, option to look up. Bringing your palms together, all the way down to the front of your body to heart center. Bowing your head. Thanking yourself for showing up today. I have missed you. Thank you for saying yes and joining me in tonight's class, and from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you everyone for coming to class. I know one day we will actually practice together and I can't wait. Hi Jane, hi Dawn. Hi Lee, Natasha, Mike, Stacy. Thank you so much everyone. I really appreciate it. You're so welcome. All my pleasure. Feel free to message me. You're welcome, Shauna. Stay gold. Thank you, Dawn. You are welcome to message me and give me a wish list of things that you like. In Soul Inspired Girl, we decided that sometimes the weekdays are the best days to do them. So I will, you're welcome, Lori. You're welcome to do them with me on weekdays. I will do the odd weekend class as well. So if there's something you want to be doing, you let me know. And if I can do it, I will. You're welcome, Jane. Have a marvelous night. Talk to everyone soon.